How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I want to talk about my absolute favorite herb at the moment, and probably the most amazing herb that I've ever had in my life, and that's Cordyceps. So I suppose Cordyceps is not technically an herb, but it is classified as a Chinese tonic herb. It is actually a mushroom, it's a parasitic mushroom, blah, blah, blah. And essentially, out of everything I've ever had in my life, I would say Cordyceps is the most substantially, significantly noticeable supplement or herb or whatever that I've ever tried. So what is my experience on Cordyceps? So I've actually been taking this particular Cordyceps for all of 2021 pretty much. It's been since like January or February, early February of 2021. And the first time that I took it, I noticed an extreme jolt of energy after about 2 hours. I made a mistake of taking about a whole teaspoon or so, pretty big dose, around 4 p.m. And then I had to work a security shift at a shopping center at 6 p.m. And I remember I was sprinting in the back alleyway behind the shopping center by 8 p.m., just back and forth doing sprints on my security job. And I was pretty sleep deprived on that day. The reason why I was doing that is because I had an uncontrollable urge to just run and exert vigorous energy. And so I don't know if that was really the Cordyceps or if that was something else, but I just remember feeling overwhelming sense of urgency to exert energy. It was crazy. Generally speaking, Cordyceps is not a stimulant like caffeine or anything like that. It's not supposed to make you feel that way. But I noticed in the beginning of taking it, it was a lot more intense. And I think my body was just not used to that gigantic supply of ATP, which is one of the main mechanisms that it works through, is helping the body to recycle ATP to where you have a lot more ATP available in the circulation. And so basically for the first 4 days, for the first 4 to 5 days of taking Cordyceps, I just remember feeling bulletproof, feeling superhuman, just feeling like I could go all freaking day and all freaking night. It was crazy. I went to jiu-jitsu every single day, and I was rolling hardcore. Rolling meaning sparring, basically meaning wrestling at full live force every single day, going to jiu-jitsu and just going all out. And during this time, the first 4 or 5 days, not only did I feel superhuman and I was just like going and going and going and felt bulletproof, but I also could not sleep. I could not sleep to save my life, but I didn't even feel the effects of sleep deprivation. It was insane. I literally hadn't slept in like 5 days, and I was going hardcore in jiu-jitsu, and I was getting better every day. And I noticed my ability to sustain my athleticism, my stamina, my endurance, it doubled. It absolutely doubled. And my recovery in between rounds also substantially increased. And at the same time, I wasn't sleeping. So I was just blown away by it. Now, admittedly, obviously the not sleeping part was pretty problematic. And I actually talked to the CEO or whatever, the founder of Hyperion Herbs, which is where I get my Cordyceps. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I don't think he does sponsorships or anything like that. It's such a small company. But this is the best place to get your Cordyceps. I have tried many like cheap-ass ones from the store and from Amazon, and it just gave me gas and bloating, probably because it was mostly oats, ground up oats. But this one actually made me, it was crazy when I took it. I got, no other Cordyceps ever made me feel this way. And so I think a lot of people don't even know what real Cordyceps feels like. But anyway, I messaged him, Brandon Gilbert, and I asked him, the hell's going on? Why can't I sleep? You know, I feel like I'm on like some meth or something. And he was telling me just to lower the dose and this and that. Take it earlier in the day. I noticed even at 1/4 of a teaspoon, I still just felt amazing and couldn't sleep. But so the key wasn't lowering the dose. The key was after about 7 days, my sleep actually got deeper. So taking Cordyceps, at first I was just jacked the fuck up. I was like not jacked up like caffeine jacked up, but I just felt amazing. Like I was injected with steroids or something. It was crazy. Couldn't sleep, didn't feel the effects of sleep deprivation. But then after about 7 days, my sleep came back at full force, and I started my sleep was on another level. So the initial Cordyceps consumption can probably scare a lot of people off. Now, it's not a common thing, by the way. It's not, from what I understand, it's not common for people to just like completely not sleep or something when they take Cordyceps, but for some people that can be the case. And I can imagine not sleeping for a week might scare people off. But I assure you, after the first week, once your sleep comes back, you will be really happy that you stuck it through. Because like, again, like I didn't even feel sleep deprived. So it's not like I was like affected by it. And when my sleep did come back, I felt even better. It felt like my health had hit a new peak, and I was just like getting healthier and healthier and healthier and feeling better and better and better about my life. And it wasn't just like a physical performance boost, because it was also a mental performance boost. Like that feeling of health that most people typically would feel, you know, in their early teens, like 14 years old, 15 years old, when you just feel like you can do anything and everything. That's what I felt Cordyceps was boosting. So other benefits I felt, like obviously increased oxygenation of my body, increased circulation, just an increased feeling of vigor. You should Google search the definition of vigor. Most of y'all are super freaking lazy and probably won't do it. Google search the definition of vigor, okay? Because most people just hear it and they take it for granted. But vigorous is the exact word that I felt. Just healthy, vital, and just like my overall foundation was more solidified, if that makes sense. And so basically Cordyceps works through increasing the recycling of ATP and the recycling of the glycolytic system. So glycolysis becomes much more efficient, and the body's able to reuse substrates, energy, a lot more efficiently. And this is to a much more substantial degree than any other supplement. It's nothing like freaking acetylcarnitine, L-cars. It's not like creatine, even though those are great supplements, and they should probably be used in conjunction with this. I've noticed using creatine with Cordyceps is a great stack, because Cordyceps kind of helps to recycle some of the effects of creatine, to put it simply for you guys. Other things is that Cordyceps seems to upregulate the sensitivity and the receptors of dopamine. This was something I kept stumbling upon over and over again on old school nootropic forums like Launch City. Shout out to anyone who knows what Launch City forums are. I kept seeing in different threads from all different years about how Cordyceps seems to how it seems to resensitize dopamine receptors and regulate the dopamine system in a way that does not create like dependence. Like if you were to take Mucuna or you were to take tyrosine or something, that's going to create like a drug-like effect where you build a tolerance and it leaves you worse off than before. Cordyceps isn't a precursor to dopamine or a stimulant of dopamine. Cordyceps seems to work directly on the receptors. So that might explain why the first week I was feeling crazy, but then after not crazy, I couldn't sleep. And then after the first week, my sleep got better. It's probably because of the resensitizing of dopamine and things like that. And so other things that Cordyceps does. I know I'm missing like a huge chunk of its benefits. I can't remember what it is. But there's something to do with how it increases oxygenation and things like that. So another thing is there's actually a study done on competitive endurance athletes. They were taking a combination of Cordyceps and reishi, and they actually found a statistically significant improvement in the testosterone to cortisol ratio, which is a direct marker of overtraining syndrome and training stress. So they were training vigorously, they're already competitive, trained athletes, and taking Cordyceps and reishi over a period of, I think it was like 12 weeks or something, they actually noticed an increase in testosterone and a decrease in cortisol. And so increased testosterone, decreased cortisol, I mean, that could also explain some of the benefits I was feeling. Was like a substantially improved hormonal ratio. Hormonal profile was substantially improved by this. What else? There's also, I mean, it's been traditionally used to improve the sex drive and improve fertility and things like that. So I think I remember when I first started taking Cordyceps, my sex drive was just insane. Like I had never felt so horny in my life. Well, actually, I take that back. When I actually take targeted protocols for boosting sex drive, yeah, that's different. But from a single herb, besides maca root, like this really increased my sex drive, but it was in a healthy way. Maca, tribulus, and yohimbe, on the other hand, those just like kicked my sex drive into an unhealthy level. But Cordyceps, it was pretty healthy. But it was healthy, but very, very strong. Stronger than anything else that's not directly meant to boost sex drive. So anyway, lots and lots and lots of benefits. Again, I'm not sponsored by Hyperion Herbs, but I do advocate using Hyperion Herbs because these herbs, you do not want to waste your money on cheap shit. Okay? For years, I was wasting my money on cheap Cordyceps extracts. And like, I remember paying $20 for like these Cordyceps capsules that weren't even prepared properly. They weren't an extract, they weren't the fruiting body, etc., etc. And in fact, they didn't even specify whether it was fruiting body or not. And I felt okay. I felt a boost from it, but it was nothing like when I actually took the real shit. Like, you can literally just take 1/4 of a teaspoon of this and feel crazy boost in performance. Whereas the other stuff, even taking a lot of it, you won't feel very different. And a lot of it just makes me feel bloated and farty, probably because it's mostly fucking oatmeal. This one, you don't feel any like bloating or anything because there's no oats. It's just complete fruit. It's a complete fruiting body extract. Or not a fruit. It's a dual extract. So anyway, yeah. So highly recommend Cordyceps, especially if it's like only if you're gonna spend the $40 or $50 on like a high quality extract. So other brands that might be okay would probably be like Jing Herbs. I think it's Jing Herbs. Now, or Vitaging. Yeah, Vitaging Herbs or whatever. Now, I haven't actually tried Vitaging, but from what I was looking at, it looks like their product should be legit if it actually is what it says it is. Just so you guys know, I'm not actually sponsored by Hyperion Herbs, and I don't intend to be. I just really appreciate quality in a market full of bullshit, okay? And so probably you should check out Brandon Gilbert's YouTube channel and try to find his videos on Cordyceps. The YouTube search engine sucks. Like, you could type in Brandon Gilbert Cordyceps, and you'll see a bunch of weird music videos and stupid shit that has nothing to do with what you're searching for. It kind of irritates me a little bit, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Try some Cordyceps, and I'll talk to y'all next time.